What is up, guys? It is Marcus from Perspective Sports, and today we'll be discussing what went wrong with the Cleveland Browns. And first, let's set the stage. Preseason 2019, the expectations are through the roof. The Cleveland Browns just traded for Odell Beckham to put alongside Jarvis Landry. They just signed Kareem Hunt to put alongside Nick Chubb, although he was serving a suspension. They traded for Olivier Vernon. They still had David Njoku, and Baker Mayfield was playing phenomenal. At the end of last season, he looked like he was the next star. He was next up. He was ready to go. They got him nothing but assets offensively. Boom, it's time to rock and roll. But here they are, week 16. They're 6-8, and that begs the question, what went wrong? Why is Baker Mayfield struggling with 17 touchdowns and 17 interceptions? Why does Odell Beckham only have 2 touchdown receptions in 67 receptions overall? I mean, he caught 3 touchdowns in 2015 when he only played 4 games. And why is the offense ranked 21st in points per game with the amount of talent they have? This can be attributed to 2 things. The Cleveland Browns buying into their own hype and the offensive line. They really go hand in hand, and I'll explain in just a second. And now there's going to be people out there that say, well, their defense isn't very good either. I disagree. The defense isn't great, but it's also not bad. When you look at their defense, it's a middle-of-the-pack defense. In points allowed per game, they rank 18th. Seattle is 21st. They're 11-3. Houston is 19th. They're 9-5. And yards allowed per game, Cleveland's 17th. Kansas City's 18th. They're 10-4. Green Bay is 23rd. They're 11-3. Seattle is 27th. They're 11-3. Houston is 28th. They're 9-5. It's not on the defense. And to be honest with you, the defense and the offense are on the field about the same amount of time. Cleveland averages 30 minutes and 18 seconds on offense every game. Out of 60 minutes, that's pretty much straight down the middle. But they also have more weapons than every team I named previously. Maybe outside of Kansas City, but I'd argue they have better weapons than Kansas City. Kansas City doesn't have 2 receivers that have been to the Pro Bowl 3 or more times. They don't have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb at running back. They don't have these resources, but yet they're 10-4, and the Cleveland Browns offense struggles to do much of anything. And the reason for that is the Browns changed its offensive identity completely. And there's no question due to the fact that they got Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry out wide. They bought into the hype of having 2 big-time receivers, David Njoku. They have running backs that can come out of the backfield and catch. They changed their offense from a quick strike, RPO, get the ball out of your hands offense to a deep route concept, sit back in the pocket, let the route develop offense. And if you go watch Brett Coleman's video, he did a great job explaining this because I noticed the same thing. I'm like, this looks different. It's not as quick as it used to be. And he did an excellent job breaking down the stats. Baker Mayfield, from a shotgun, 1-step, or an RPO offense, he's completing 77% of his passes for 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, although a few of those weren't his fault. But from every other shotgun, he's completing 52.9% of his passes for 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. As you can see, the faster the ball gets out of his hands, the better the offense is. And you know why that is? The offensive line. And that was sacrificed at the altar to build this Cleveland Browns roster. And let's take a look at it. They traded away Kevin Zeitler to the New York Giants in exchange for Olivier Vernon. Zeitler this year has 1 penalty for 10 yards holding. That's it. He's allowed 1.5 sacks. Baker Mayfield has been sacked 34 times, 9th most in the NFL. And you know what else I noticed about this Browns offensive line? They can be drive killers. They really can. They are tied for second with 22 false start penalties. False starts change play calling. It takes a 3rd and 1 to a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 2 to a 3rd and 7. And what I call on 3rd and 1st and 2nd is a lot different from what I call on 3rd and 6 or 7. And also on 4th down. If we want to go for it, 4th and 1, a false start, now we got to bring the punt team on. It's 4th and 6, 4th and 7. Let's play the numbers game, punt the ball, defense, get ready. And so when you have players like Odell Beckham who want to go deep, they want to get the highlight plays, they want to take the shot downfield, you just can't with this offensive line. Baker Mayfield doesn't have the time to sit back in the pocket, observe the field, and hit them deep because some people are getting through the offensive line, and he's not overly mobile to be able to get out of the pocket and create a new one. And so they had to go back to the quick strike offense that worked at Oklahoma. It worked at the end of last year, and they abandoned it because of the fact they had Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry out wide. They changed who they were, and now they're starting to get back to who they were. And I don't think you need Odell Beckham on the roster to run what worked last year. I really don't. I think they need to move on from Odell Beckham, get some of the ego out of the locker room because that was one of the problems with the Browns too. They had too much personality, and it backfired. John Dorsey, the GM, has a personality. Jarvis Landry has a personality. Baker Mayfield has a personality. Odell Beckham has a personality. The team has a personality. They have a big ego on the team. I think that was one of the reasons Freddie Kitchens was hired. He doesn't have much of an ego. He's low maintenance. And so I think they need to move on from Odell Beckham and begin to build an offensive line because the team is good. Like I said, the defense is middle of the pack. They outrank a lot of teams with a lot better records. They outrank Green Bay. Green Bay has a lot better record. Houston, a lot better record. Seattle, a lot better record. Statistically, the Browns' defense is better than all of theirs. Kansas City. Kansas City is one of their main weaknesses. Everybody talks about Kansas City's defense. 10-4. And it's because the offense can make up for so much. And that's what I think the Browns need to get back to. They need to be able to get an offensive line, go back to the run-first offense. Run first, and then quick strike offense. I think that's what they need to get back to. I don't think Odell Beckham would fit in that offense, so I think they need to move on from him and start to build an offensive line. Let me know what you think went wrong with the Cleveland Browns. Let me know what changes you think they need to be made down in the comment section below. I'll see you there.